Hi, guys, and welcome back to Guitar by Emily. This is my second episode of my new podcast, Rock Talk with Emily. And this is my first episode that I have a guest on. And I am so excited to announce that today's episode will be featuring my interview with Miljenko Matijevic from STEELHEART. Guys, this is the coolest thing ever. He is one of the coolest rock stars from the 80s, and it is so awesome that I had this opportunity. I'm so thankful to Jamie, his assistant, for setting all this up and being in contact with me to make this happen. And of course, very thankful to Miljenko for, taking his time to do this interview. So I'm not going to talk too much, but make sure you like this video, you subscribe, and maybe let me know who else you would like to see me get on the podcast, and we'll see what we can do. All right, let's do it.
Okay, how's it look, Jamie? We looking like good?
You guys are both looking good. Go for it, because you got
We're looking good. All right,
25 minutes.
My hair, get all sexy. All right, here we go.
All right. Well, first off, I want to say thank you so much for doing this. This means a lot. And I actually met you a couple weeks ago at the Piketown Palooza. And I also want to just say thank you so much. You were so kind, and you actually, had a conversation with me. I've done meet and greets where people are not even nice, but that was just such an amazing experience for me. And yeah, I really appreciated that.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, that's what we are supposed to do, right? That's our job.
Right. Right.
So, but not only that, I love meeting, beautiful people, and it just, everyone is just awesome, and everyone deserves to be, treated kindly and equally. So
I agree. That's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have quite a few things that I'd like to talk about today, if it's all right to just kind of move quickly through some things. Kind of just want this to be a fun chat, and for some people who maybe if they're younger, they don't know about STEELHEART, or maybe if they don't know, or if they do know about the band and they don't know some of the cool things regarding the band, maybe we could just talk about all that today. So I think it's going to be a really fun time. I'd like to just start out by asking about the beginning of the band. I know you guys were originally called Red Alert, and you guys didn't get your first album released until 1990. Was there anything that, prevented the album from getting out earlier? And do you think that that may have prevented you guys from reaching further success like bands Bon Jovi, Poison? Because I believe your material and, the band itself is in the same caliber.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Sadly, it just felt like years of rehearsing, waiting to find, the right person to see it and understand it and sign it, And I mean, we met a lot of guys, and everybody would have their something to say. Well, this is not right. Well, this is not right. And it was right. It was right from day one. We had it all. We had the songs. We had all of it, And but what happened is that one day I was speaking to this other drummer that we were possibly going to use. And he goes, "Hey man, come to LA, and I'll introduce you to some people, and see what happens." And I literally said, I was having dinner with my parents, and my father I said, what are you doing with your life? In a really broken accent. What are you doing with your life? And I go, "I'm going Friday to Los Angeles to become a star." And his exact words, he goes, "Do it." And I go, "I will." So I went that weekend, Friday, and I was leaving on, believe, Monday. And I hit nothing. I got nothing. I had nothing going. And then a friend of mine says, "Hey, listen, you want to meet this producer?" And with him is a very powerful manager. And I said, "I'd love to meet him." So I met him on Monday and sat down with the producer. We listened to the music, and he's like, "Well, maybe we should change this." I said, "Well, maybe we should change this." And then he just listens to it again. He goes, "It's done." I go, "Yeah, I did the work. It's done. We just need to record it." So then Stan comes up, the manager. He was at the pool. He's got this gold chains. He's just like suave, And so dude says to him, "Hey, you really need to meet Mili here and listen to his music." And he's like, "You look great. I'm sure you sound great. I don't want another band. I cannot handle another band. I have too much going on. I'm just not interested." And then he goes again. He goes, "You really need to listen to this, okay?" And then he finally gives in. I even said, "Come on, give me a chance, will you? Just listen to the thing." So he said, "Send it to me to New York." So he gives me the address. And when I left the apartment, I went immediately to FedEx and I FedExed it to him. So he was flying home that night. So he came in the morning to his office and it was on the desk. Okay. So it was on his desk. And then I get a call. I was traveling and I got a, what do you call it? Listening to my voice message. You know, the old school, you got to call back and punch in the number and you're hearing, you know, tape machine back. And his exact words, "It is that good. Call me immediately." I called him, came back on Tuesday. We talked on Tuesday. He said, "You got to come into the office tomorrow. We got to make a, you know, verbal conversation." I came in Wednesday. We had a verbal agreement. On Friday at 5 p.m., he calls me. He goes, "You're going to be signed to Universal Records. Have a good weekend." Overnight. I mean, literally overnight, what they say.
Wow.
But, you know, it's been like, what, 12 years of just nothing. And it really sucked, I got to tell you. And yes, and by the time the record came out, so we finished the album, wanted to put it out, and then Universal didn't put it out, MCA didn't put it out. They waited. It was just sitting on the shelf. And we're all thinking, well, what are we doing here? So 9 months went by. Okay, again, remember, time's ticking. The 80s are disappearing during this whole thing. And so we, something crazy happened in Japan. The song "She's Gone" just absolutely blew up. I mean, like crazy. The radio station was getting like 2,500 calls.
Wow.
Something like that. That's what they sold me. I mean, 2,500 calls, a lot of calls. Could have been maybe 200, you know what I mean? But anyway, it doesn't matter. It went huge. And then we went over there. I went by myself with my manager. I didn't know anything. He didn't tell me anything. I mean, I stepped off the plane. It was like, I thought it was the Beatles. You know what I mean? It was like really intense. It's beautiful. You know, I wasn't ready for it. And came there, did a bunch of press. And we went back, I would say maybe a month later to do major shows. I mean, like major shows, big theaters, NHK Hall, stuff like that, Osaka, Nagoya, Tokyo. And it kind of put a fire under MCA's butt. And they were like, "Oh, this is happening over there. We got to do something in the United States." So then they kicked in and we started off with "Can't Stop Me Loving You," which did really well. And then we did "I'll Never Let You Go." And that just, again, that's another song that just blew up overnight. You know, it was just like MTV. It was number 2 TV. It was just like boom, you know. And yes, you're absolutely correct. If it was, if we came out like 87, 86, you know, we were like, we're ready. Just, you know, it's all about timing and luck. That's what this business is. You know, no matter how much you say that, no matter how good you are, you need some luck.
Yeah.
So, and here we are though. 35
I
years
mean, I
later.
think it still worked out for you, but I would have loved to see what would have happened, you know, had you been able to get the music out earlier. I definitely think the MTV videos probably helped out a lot, especially in the US, because I love the MTV videos that you guys put out for the songs on that album. And I think they definitely probably caught the public's eye for sure. What was your
Absolutely.
favorite song on that first album? I know mine is probably "Everybody Loves Eileen" or "Can't Stop Me Loving You," but what was yours?
Well, you know, I kind of like all of them because they're all a part of me. You know what I'm saying? They really all are a part of me. You know, I think if I would have to really choose one, I would say, it'd be, well, I can't choose. She's Gone. She's Gone is a
Oh,
very,
beautiful.
very,
My favorite
it's tremendous.
performance you've ever done is the MTV Unplugged performance
Oh,
of that
yeah.
song. Oh my gosh. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
that was in Hong Kong. Yeah,
Beautiful.
that was a good night. But check this out though. Originally, what happened with that? So Mnet is like MTV over there. Okay, it's huge, like 60 million viewers. That was 60 million viewers, by the way,
Wow.
live. That sucked. That was like, that That was like, I don't care how good you are. That's still like, that's a, you know, on TV, it's a big thing. Anyway, but we did it originally. I did it at a ski resort, and they were kind of doing it like a, you know, kind of fun thing, the skiing, the coming down the slopes. And then I'm going to do this thing in a nice, cool, vibey, like cafe, you know, playing the piano. And I came there and the piano was completely out of tune.
Oh,
Okay. And it was in a cafeteria. Okay. And the travel was from New York to Korea, and then a 6 hour bus ride into the, you know, the mountains. And it was just brutal. And I just came in, I was just like, here's the deal. This, I'm not doing. I'm out. I jumped into a cab and left and went right to Seoul. Said, I'm out. And I left. So then they called me back, apologized. Hey, we're sorry. We'd like to make it up to you. We'd like to do it in Hong Kong, and we'd like to do it, you know, well, actually, they asked me how would I like to do it. And I said, we need a little theater, you know, get some candles going, get some things, some vibe, and, you know, have a little audience. And that's it. They set it up, and that's what came out.
well, I'm glad it worked out because I still watch that video very often. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I said no. You know,
Yeah,
you got to say no.
definitely worked out in the end. I know you talk a lot about this in different interviews, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But the accident that happened in 1992 with the lighting truss, do you think that you guys would have put out maybe another? I know you put out Tangled in Rains, but would you have put out, more music and continued touring, through the 90s? Do you think if that hadn't have happened?
Yeah. I mean, that was, you know, that was imagine this. It's like somebody just, you know, cut off the pipeline, because that's what happened. You know, here we are, 50, we did 50 shows with Tangle and Reigns. That was the 50th show. And we were going to go home and take a break and then do Europe and do, you know, keep going, keep touring. And of course we'd do another record. And, but when that happened, that just, it was like somebody just shut the lights off and I was gone. I mean, the band was gone, and it was just like, where'd they go? No one knew. You know, it wasn't like any major press. It was like really weird. I was in a I was in a state that I didn't even know where I was. You know, I had a massive head injury, you know, and lucky to be alive. So that's the other reason why Steelheart probably, you know, didn't break through like, you know, big like multi-platinum.
Yeah. And I can only assume that, by the time you guys returned, and I believe it was 96, grunge had just taken over at that point, and it was probably, quite a bit harder to keep the 80s going,
Right.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
The next thing I'd like to bring up is Rockstar because I think that is such a cool part of your career. And I actually just recently found out that We All Die Young was on it was on Wait in 96, and then it was
Yeah.
used in the movie. It's so perfect for the movie though. How did that all come to be that you got to work with them on that?
So the producer I worked with on the second album, Tom Werman, and so we kind of became pretty good friends. And I didn't talk to him for a while. And I was actually in Connecticut, and I was on my way back to Los Angeles, and I was saying, you know, I got to get my shit together. I got to put a new band together. And like, what the hell's going on? I got to get going. You know, I felt a little bit stagnant and behind, and I got a call that night, and it's Tom, and he goes, "Hey, you know, I'm working on this movie. It's a pretty big movie. It's a pretty big deal, and it's about a singer, you know, that joins a rock band that he loves." And he said, "I really think you're the guy. Would you be interested in auditioning?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a wing, you know." So I flew out, landed at 11. I was in the studio at 1, sang my ass off by 2. At 3:30, they call me back. "Hey, you want the gig?" So that's
Exactly.
how
They
it,
should have.
yeah,
Yes.
it was just like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Again, you know, when things happen, especially in this business, when the stars align, they align and they align quickly. And you got to know when to accept the gift when you see it, you know. And that was it. And then we were rehearsing, and then Tammy, one of the producers for the music producers. She came in and she goes like, "Hey, if you guys got any songs, for the movie, we'd love to, for you to share." I'm like, "I got songs. I got a lot of songs." So I gave her the Wake record, and she comes back. She goes, "We All Die Young. Have to have it."
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because that also gave me a lot more strength in the project. It was really good. That was basically the theme song of the movie, and yeah, we re-recorded it, and it's history.
I think the song is so perfect and it just fits so well. And I think that's so cool that you wrote it before and it wasn't even before the movie was even, thought of. And that's
Right.
very cool how that all worked out like that. And do you think that that movie may have brought some more recognition back to your band?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It gave a lot, especially the song "We All Die Young." A lot of people have covered it, and it's a. I mean, the lyrics are all. Look, if you want to know anything about me, just read the lyrics at at the time I write the record, right? And it was really heavy. I mean, I went through a heavy. I mean, I almost died. You
Hmm.
know, and it just these are the lyrics that came to me. And actually I almost died at 27. Okay, so I almost joined that whole club. I was 27, 28, something like that. So I almost joined that whole club, and I wrote "We All Die Young" without even
Yeah.
thinking about it. So, and there you are.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about your writing that I absolutely love. It's so heartfelt and you capture so much emotion with the songs. Like I'll Never Let You Go. That's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. And then She's Gone. It's just heart-wrenching. I mean, you capture so much in that. I just think that's something that not everyone has as a songwriter. It's very
Oh,
inspiring.
thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it. Those compliments will keep me going.
Moving forward to something you've done a little more recently, I'd like to talk about Steelheart 30, which I am a huge fan of. When you were writing, or I guess re-recording those songs, were you coming from a different place? I mean, I would assume that you would have to be so many years later. Were you feeling different emotions when you were recording those songs?
Well, yeah. Well, it's like this, right? Um, Let me give you a little bit of the reality of that record. Okay, we wanted to put the record out. You put a 30th anniversary album. Maybe you do one song, and the rest is all the hits, right? What
Mhm.
you did throughout your lifetime. However, Universal didn't want to give us the rights to the music to put, to do a 30th album. So I was like, well, I'm going to have to re-record it, because the fans are asking.
Mhm.
So I and when you do something, you can't do it exact. You can, you know what I mean? Like Everybody Loves Eileen. We did a little edgier. Actually, as funny as like I was on a boat with friends of mine. We're like screaming down on the ocean, and on Pandora, Everybody Loves Eileen came on, but the new version came on, and it was just rocking. Excuse my language. Careful, don't do that. And it was rocking. I'm like going, wow, this is really wow. I don't remember. I'm like, it's the new version. So you can't. Yes, it's a different place. You got to do it differently. You can't do it exact. What's the sense? If you do it exact, then it's a re-record, just for publishing purposes. Okay, to own the master. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something more dramatic. Like She's Gone. It's basically in a weird way almost rewritten.
Mhm.
The piano part's different. Then we have the orchestration in it. It was a full 30-piece orchestra. And that one, Mama Don't You Cry and Trust and Love.
Mhm.
So not enough 30, it was a 50-piece orchestra. Sorry, it's like major. And that was recorded in Skopje, in my country, my old country, Yugoslavia, Croatia. So yeah, we had to do it a little different. Yes, I came from a different space.
And I think that's
Absolutely.
a very beautiful record. If anyone watching this later has not listened to that, then you guys need to do that because you're missing out. It's so good. And especially Angel Eyes that you recorded with your daughter. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Uh, yeah, that was a special thing. We were looking to connect with somebody, um, famous, to do a duet with, and we were all talking to different people, but I always had in my mind that it needs to be Stevie, you know, and And we went through it, and we had some conversation, and it just started getting complicated, you
Mhm.
know, what can't happen, this is the touring, or what about this and this, and it's just like, I was like, you know what, I don't have time for this. So I was flying back from a gig on the plane, and I already bought Stevie a ticket, okay, for tomorrow. Now I'm on a plane, it's like 10 o'clock, or yeah, it's like about 10 o'clock. And I said, hey, how you doing? You know, I say, hey, you know, hey, what, you know, would you be interested and give me the honor of singing with me the duet for Angel Eyes, you know, re-record? And she's like, don't play with me. Are you serious? And I said, yeah, I am serious, you know? And she's like, oh my God, I would be absolutely love to do that. It'd be something really amazing. When do you want to do it? I said, tomorrow. And she goes, tomorrow? What do you, well, you know, she's on the texting me. I don't know. It's just like, oh my God. Well, I guess I could. I guess I could. I go, all right, good. And I sent her, here's your ticket. And she was like, oh man, you're crazy. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Sure enough, she came in the next day, and we recorded it that week.
Just came
So
together like that. That's so beautiful.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that.
definitely one of those guys. If you're gonna do it right away. Don't wait too long, because you know you could lose the energy. Something goes off, and I said, boom, let's go, make it happen.
Definitely. Yeah. Something else I wanted to ask. I've got a few questions from people on Instagram asked, where did the Steelheart jacket design come from? Is that something you came up with, or did someone else?
The old original bling,
Yes.
yeah, the original bling one. I did that.
Awesome.
I bought all the rhinestones and all the stuff, and I was one night I came home, and after dinner around 8:30, I hung the jacket up, and I looked at it, and I got all this stuff, and I saw the design in my head, and I said, okay, let me do it. So I spent all night. I did it all night, and I made it. I made it. I wore it into the office to my managers that week. He saw the jacket. He goes, we got to reshoot the album cover, because we got to reshoot the album cover. That's the album cover. And that's why there's two album covers for that first
Yeah,
album.
that's so cool. That's so funny because actually today I was talking with a friend. We both really love 80s music, and we were talking about going thrifting to get leather jackets and going to get all the blings and trying to make them because we just love it. It's such a cool design, and that's so cool. So what are you working on right now?
Right now, we have a movie coming out on
Yes.
August 15th. So, and the movie's called Trust and Love. I It's a friend of mine who was doing this movie, and I we were sitting one day with the director, and we're listening to my music, you know, for the movie, and the director's like, oh, he's from Ireland, and he's got this really heavy accent, and he's like, oh, that one's great. Oh, this one's great. Oh, this one's great. And I saved Trust and Love for last. And when he listened to it, he goes, kept this one for last, didn't you? I go, yeah. He goes, we have to have this in the movie. That's the theme of the song. That's the theme of the movie. And he looks at Jimmy and goes, why don't we just call the movie Trust and Love? So instead of, it used to be called Split. So they changed the name of the movie to Trust and Love. That's the theme of the theme song for the movie. And that's about the whole concept, the whole beauty, and that's what the movie's about, trusting and love. So it's a rock and roll kind of vibe. It's happy go lucky, and I think everybody's gonna really enjoy this. Hope it does something.
Yeah, I definitely
So
can't wait to check that out. Do you have any new music in the works?
I do. I have so much music. It's like crazy the amount of music I have, which is beautiful. I have this whole other project that I'm working on as well, which is really intense. And I guess yeah, I can mention it. It's just with another guitar player. Actually, we're doing a little side project with
Oh,
one of the guys from In Flames, the band In Flames, the guitar player, and well, used to be, now he's in Halo Effect, and it's really exciting. I mean, it's like nasty. It's heavy, but it's me singing over it. It's like it's exciting. I'm excited for the world to hear it. And also, we
Yeah.
got another couple of songs of Steelheart that we're going to put out as
Oh,
well.
I'm so excited to hear those.
Yeah,
Definitely.
there's never a shortage of songs. It's all about putting it together. Getting it, recording it, and releasing it, and that's what takes time. So yes, we got songs coming.
Perfect. I can't wait to hear all of that.
See the show. You saw the show last week. What was
Yeah.
it? Piketown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to go see Steelheart because he can still hit those notes.
But what I will do is I will do some of that live, and put it on. I'll put it on my Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll send it to you. How's that?
All right, that's great. I put out a thing a couple days ago, like asking people, what do you want me to ask him? And literally I had so many people say, he needs to sing, he needs to sing.
Right. Oh, now come see the show.
Definitely. Everyone, I have a video coming out. I filmed a ton from that day that I saw you, and I have a video coming out really soon of all the footage. And it was insane. Like, I obviously know that you have such an amazing voice, but hearing it live, and then of course so many years later, it's just incredible that you're still able to hit all those notes. And in my opinion, you definitely have the best voice of the 80s, and the only person that would even come close would be maybe Michael Sweet. I think he has a great voice as well, but I think you definitely, have the most powerful voice. And I think it should be mentioned more when people are talking about the best frontmen, because, not all these guys like Bon Jovi, Brett Michaels, they can't sing like that.
No, they're yeah. Well, you know what? Thank you. I'm happy that I can. And I think that's a lot of it from not doing crazy drugs and drinking and all that, smoking. And I think
Definitely.
that's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with me, the more I sing, the easier it is.
Yeah.
Crazy it is. Yeah. The more I sing, the easier it gets. So
as we close, I would just like to ask, do you have any advice that you would give to young musicians of this generation?
quit immediately. No, it's kind of here's what I can say. Music is about connecting to the other side. And if you have that gift and you feel that energy, you're a chosen one. Not everyone gets to feel that. Not everyone gets to experience that. And it's a choice. And when you're asked, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about, comes to you and you go, is this what you want to do? And you accept those terms, and you got to live that life and that dream. And keep going, never stop, and enjoy the beauty of what you have. Period. Whether you're on the floor or you're at, the penthouse, that's what it will take you. And I promise you, it will take you there. So that's it.
I think that's really good. Well, thank you so much for doing this again. This was just so fun, and I feel honored to be able to even talk to you about all this stuff, because I'm just with my social media trying to keep alive this music that I love so much, and just getting to actually talk to someone who is part of it and lived it is just very amazing, and I'm very thankful.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, very nice to talk to you again. Hopefully maybe we'll stay in touch later on, but yeah, I will definitely be at the next Steelheart show that is around, if there is one.
Tomorrow night I leave for Indonesia.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna get on a plane and head over there.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
wish I could though.
Okay, I got Jamie. I think Jamie's just texted me. I got another interview coming up.
All right.
away.
Well, again, thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you. Bye.
Nice speaking to you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you guys so much for watching. That was such a fun time getting to talk with him about the band and his career. It sounds like there's some cool things in the works for the future. So again, thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Miljenko, for taking your time to be on my podcast. It was so fun getting to talk to you, and I can't wait for more episodes of the podcast coming in the future. I actually have some more guests lined up, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.